Our seasoned Cubs fans, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you will have you on the edge of your seat until July 31st. The front office is making moves behind the scenes that could either catapult us into October glory or leave us watching from the couch again. And trust me, after everything we've been through together, you need to hear this. Right now, as I'm typing this, there are 3 earth-shattering developments happening in our organization that will determine whether this magical 37-22 start turns into championship gold or another heartbreaking what-if season. We're talking about decisions that could reshape our entire rotation, moves that have rival GMs scrambling, and a veteran ace who might just be the missing piece we've been desperately searching for. Picture this. Our beloved Cubs are sitting pretty at the top of the National League, tied with the Mets for the best record in the NL. But here's the thing that's keeping me up at night, and should be keeping you up too. Our rotation is hanging by a thread. One injury, one bad month, and this dream season could crumble faster than a house of cards in a Wrigley Field windstorm. The trade deadline is approaching like a freight train, and Jed Hoyer is feeling the pressure. The market is brutal right now, with sellers holding all the cards, but here's where it gets interesting. 3 separate situations are developing that could completely change our fate. We're talking about a generational talent that everyone wants but can't have, a former Cy Young winner whose stock has plummeted to bargain bin levels, and a crafty Japanese veteran who might just be the perfect fit for our championship puzzle. I'm telling you right now, Cubs fans, smash that like button. If you're ready for this roller coaster, drop a comment below with your predictions, and hit subscribe because you're going to want to follow every twist and turn of this deadline drama. The next 60 days will either make us legends or leave us wondering what could have been. So grab your lucky Cubs hat, pour yourself a cold one, and let me break down the first bombshell that's got the entire baseball world talking. The first story hitting Wrigleyville like a meteor is about the pitcher everyone wants, but absolutely cannot have. We're talking about Paul Skeens, the rookie phenom who's been lighting up the NL like a fireworks show over Lake Michigan. And Cubs fans, I've got some news that's going to make your heart sink faster than a curveball in the dirt. The Pittsburgh Pirates, yeah, those guys we've been dominating this season, have slammed the door shut on any trade discussions involving their golden boy. Bob Nightingale dropped this bomb on a Sunday, and it hit the Cubs community like a line drive to the gut. The Pittsburgh Pirates is categorically rejecting any interest from teams wanting to deal for ace Paul Skeens, he wrote. And you could practically hear the collective groan from every Cubs fan from Chicago to Iowa. Think about it for a minute. Here we are, sitting at 37-22, playing the best baseball we've seen in years, and the one pitcher who could guarantee us a World Series run is completely off the table. Skeens isn't just good, he's generational. The kind of arm that comes around once every decade, the type of pitcher who could turn our good rotation into an unstoppable force of nature. But here's what's really eating at me, and what should be burning in your chest right now. The Pirates are protecting him like he's the crown jewels, while they're willing to listen to offers for literally everyone else on their roster. Everyone except Skeens and O'Neal Cruz. Can you imagine having that kind of untouchable talent and knowing your biggest rival can't touch him? Jed Hoyer must be pulling his hair out. He's already admitted that the market is favoring sellers, that prices are sky high, and now the one pitcher who could solve all our problems is completely unavailable. It's like being told you can have anything in the candy store except the one thing you actually want. The timing couldn't be more brutal. With Justin Steele still recovering and our rotation depth being questioned by every analyst from ESPN to The Athletic, losing out on Skeens feels like watching a perfect game get broken up in the 9th inning. We had dreams, Cubs fans. We had hope. And now we're staring at the reality that the best young pitcher in baseball is going to stay in that ugly black and yellow uniform, probably haunting us for the next 6 years. But here's the thing that's got me fired up and should have you ready to storm the front office. If we can't have the Ferrari, maybe it's time to find the hidden gem that everyone else is overlooking. Now, Cubs fans, let me tell you about a situation that's got more twists than a Christopher Nolan movie, and it involves a name that should make every Cubs fan's heart race with both excitement and terror. We're talking about Sandy Alcantara, the former Cy Young winner, who's currently having the kind of season that makes you question everything you know about baseball. Here's where this story gets absolutely wild. Remember when Alcantara was untouchable? When he was throwing 250 innings and dominating hitters like they were little leaguers? Well, the Miami Marlins thought they could play the long game, hold on to their ace and watch his trade value skyrocket as we got closer to July 31st. That plan has backfired spectacularly, and now we might be looking at the steal of the century. Get this, Alcantara is sporting an 8.47 ERA. Let me say that again, 8.47. That's worse than Ben Brown's 5.77, and we've been complaining about Brown all season. The guy who won a Cy Young Award just 2 years ago is currently allowing more earned runs than any pitcher in baseball. The Marlins are probably having nightmares about their master plan turning into a complete disaster. But here's where it gets interesting for us Cubs fans, and this is where Jed Hoyer's baseball genius either shines or crashes and burns. What if, and hear me out on this, what if this is exactly the kind of calculated risk that wins championships? Think about it. We're getting a proven ace at garage sale prices because he's coming off Tommy John surgery and having some early season struggles. Remember when we took a chance on Jake Arrieta after Baltimore gave up on him? Remember how that worked out for us? Alcantara has the talent, the track record, and now he's available at a fraction of what he would have cost 6 months ago. The Marlins are desperate to move him before his value drops even further, and we could swoop in like vultures at a baseball buffet. The question that's eating at every Cubs fan right now is simple. Do we want to gamble on Sandy Alcantara? Are we willing to bet our championship dreams on a guy who's been getting lit up worse than our bullpen in 2019? Or do we trust that once he gets healthy, once he settles into a new environment, once he puts on those beautiful Cubs pinstripes, the real Sandy Alcantara will emerge? Jed Hoyer is sitting at his desk right now, probably staring at Alcantara's numbers and wondering if this is the move that makes him look like a genius or gets him run out of Chicago on a rail. And that brings us to our final piece of this puzzle, a move so perfect, so under the radar, that it might just be the answer to all our prayers. Cubs fans, what I'm about to tell you might just be the most beautiful plot twist in this entire deadline drama, and it involves a pitcher who could slide into our rotation like he was born to wear Cubs blue. We're talking about Tomoyuki Sugano, the 35-year-old Japanese craftsman who's quietly been carving up American League hitters while everyone's been obsessing over the flashier names. This is where the story gets absolutely perfect, and why I'm convinced the baseball gods might actually be Cubs fans, after all. Sugano isn't just any pitcher. He's Shota Imanaga's former rival from NPB, a guy who knows exactly what it takes to succeed in professional baseball at the highest level. Can you imagine the poetry of reuniting these two Japanese aces in Chicago? It's like getting the band back together, except the band plays baseball, and their greatest hits could lead us to the World Series. Here's what's got me absolutely buzzing with excitement. Sugano is putting up a 3.23 ERA and a 1.06 WHIP for Baltimore. Those aren't just good numbers. Those are elite numbers disguised as quietly effective pitching. While everyone's chasing the strikeout artists and the flamethrowers, Sugano is out here proving that sometimes the best pitch is the one that gets weak contact. And get this, his contract is only $13 million for the year. $13 million. In today's market, that's lunch money for a proven starter who could anchor our rotation through October. While other teams are throwing around $30 to $40 million contracts like confetti, we could get a legitimate number 2 or 3 starter for the price of a decent reliever. Kyle Morton from SI put it perfectly when he said Sugano would fit like a glove with our Cubs. Picture this rotation. Imanaga returns from injury as our ace, Sugano slides in as the perfect complement, and suddenly, we've got two Japanese masters who know each other's tendencies, who can communicate in ways that go beyond language, who understand the mental side of pitching better than anyone in the game. The strikeout numbers might be low, only 35 Ks in 64 innings, but sometimes the most dangerous pitcher is the one who doesn't need to strike everyone out. Sugano is a master of getting quick outs, keeping his pitch count low, and going deep into games. In an era where every team is burning through bullpen arms like kindling, having a guy who can consistently give you 7 innings is worth its weight in championship rings. Cubs fans, this is it. This is our moment. We can't get Skeens because Pittsburgh won't let him go. Alcantara is a huge gamble that might blow up in our faces. But Sugano is the perfect middle ground. Proven, affordable, and exactly what we need to complement the pieces we already have. So here's my final call to action. Smash that like button if you think Sugano is the missing piece to our championship puzzle. Drop a comment below and tell me which move you think Jed Hoyer should make. The safe bet on Sugano. The high-risk gamble on Alcantara, or should we look elsewhere entirely? And don't forget to subscribe because these next 2 months are going to be the wildest ride in Cubs history. The trade deadline is coming, whether we're ready or not. The question isn't whether we'll make a move, it's whether we'll make the right move. What do you think, Cubs fans, and are we about to witness the trade that brings us banner number 2?